Hello, my name is Joshua Keith, and this is theburningcoal.com, a website dedicated to God's glory, His grace, and our response to it. Today we're going to be talking about being thankful for likeness. And as a reminder, we're comparing this to what we've been studying on Motivation Mondays, where we've been looking at the Beatitudes. This week we looked at Matthew 5:9, where it said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God." And so we see here that we need to be peacemakers, that God has called us to be people of peace, that we are seeking peace with Him, that we are seeking peace with each other, and seeking peace among other people as well. And so we are trying to be a peacemaker in every sense of the word. But we notice here that we're blessed when we're peacemakers because that means we are called sons of God. And I think that's something that should be really encouraging for us and something that we should be able to be thankful for. To note that God would say, "You are my son, you are my daughter, you are my child." And so we see with that a few different ideas. First of all, we see that God is willing to be associated with us. He sees us as sinners. He knows the things that we've done, the fact that we declared war on Him and were His enemies. And not only is He willing to forgive us of that, but now He's willing to be associated with us. He's willing for us to become a part of His church, a part of His following. But even more than that, He takes us and He chooses us as adopted children. If you think about the story of the prodigal son, the contrast here is obvious. The prodigal son, he says, even the servants have it better than I have right now. And so he's looking to go back to his father and to say, can I just work for you? Can I be one of your servants, one of your paid workers? But the father doesn't just stop there. The father gives him all the rights and privileges of being a son again, even though what he had said is that I don't want anything to do with being your son. And even though we've told God we don't want to be His child, we don't want to be associated with Him, now that we've come back, now that we've been willing to repent and change our ways, He says, yes, you are adopted. You have become my child with all the rights and responsibilities that are included with that. You have been given my inheritance. You have been given all the gifts in the heavenly places, as Paul puts it in Ephesians chapter 1. And so we should be thankful for the fact that not only is God willing to be associated with us, willing to take us back as servants or slaves, He actually is willing to adopt us fully into His family. And one of the things that means, one of the things that the idea of sonship means, is that we are like Him. When we become peacemakers, what we're really doing is we're being like our Father. Now take a moment and let that sink in. Because what God is saying is that I want to make you like me. And I see within you the potential and the ability to do that. God took us. He knows the dumb decisions we've made in our past. He knows the things that we have done wrong. He knows how unlike Him we have been in our lives by the choices that we make, by the decisions we wanted to do. And He says, I know all of that, but I have something more for you. I can turn you into someone who is holy, who is loving, who is able to have wisdom and make peace with others. I can turn you into somebody righteous. And you can be my son, not just in name, not just in inheritance, but also in your character and your nature. God has given us that ability. Through the forgiveness of sins, through His teaching, through His discipline, He has turned us into the mirror image of Himself, if only we've let Him. And so we should be thankful that God was willing to put all of this in place so that we could not be the person that we used to be, not be that person that we're ashamed of, but instead be somebody who is in the very likeness of God. I hope this lesson blesses you in your walk in His kingdom.